We've got 5 minutes to air, people. 5 minutes. Yes. Mr. Lawrence, Miss Paintwood, Sherwood. 5 minutes. Ready, front and center for audience. More Bob.
Sally. Yes. Yes. No, someone. That's not it. That's not it. 14. Why do I have 14 people?
I have 15.
We got everybody here. What could go wrong?
Nuts!
Oh my.
All right, let's go, let's go, let's go! It's just a little rat.
It's a
That was the old lamplighter.
no.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a live broadcast of WBFR Playhouse of the Air. We thank you for braving the weather on this Christmas Eve, and you'll be glad you did when you hear what we have for you tonight. It's a Wonderful Life. Very good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that this evening's program is being broadcast live from coast to coast, and our listeners are counting on your reactions as part of their listening pleasure. So don't be shy. Feel free to applaud, laugh, swoon, or cry as loudly as the spirit moves. I'm getting the signal from our stage manager that we will be live in just less than 3 minutes, which allows me just enough time to introduce you to the fine acting ensemble who will be performing this evening's entertainment. You know him from Chick Carter, Boy Detective, and Cowpoke Romance, playing George Bailey, the hero of tonight's story, Mr. Jake Clarence. Having just returned from Los Angeles, having completed filming Dottie Goes Bananas, a Technicolor spectacle, as his leading lady, Mary Hatch, we bring you Miss Ohio 1943, Miss Sally Applewhite. WBFR Playhouse of the Air listeners have heard our next little lady in roles ranging from Mother Cabrini to Salome. And playing small-town siren Violet Bick and others in tonight's story. Soon to be seen co-starring with Margaret Dumont in Paramount Pictures' new comedy, The Hick Chick. And playing Clarence the Angel and others in tonight's show, here's Harry Jazzbo Hayes. And finally, host of Females Are Fabulous, and with you every week on Playhouse of the Air, I'm Freddie Fillmore. I'm getting the signal.
20 seconds!
Signal from our stage manager that we will be live in 20 seconds. Thank you all for coming this evening and enjoy the broadcast.
And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
WBFR in New York City.
This is WBFR Playhouse of the Air. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, young and old and new. Greetings from WBFR Studio Eddie and We begin our story in the little town of Bedford Falls, New York, US of A, where a number of people in the town are praying for their dear friend, a typical American dreamer named George Bailey.
Dear God, please look at my husband, George.
George is a good boy, you know that. My son's always gone out of his way to give others a hand, and now it's him who needs the
Oh,
help.
my big brother George. He's done so much for all of us, more for me than I
I
remember.
remember all the times he would stay late after work and not ask a cent. The world needs more like George.
George Bailey never thinks about himself. Why, I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it
If
wasn't
it
for
wasn't
him.
for him, I would have given up long ago. All I think about is myself. I must have taken the last cent he
He
had.
had no sense of business, that George Bailey. Just like his father, none of the Baileys were ever businessmen. It's his own fault if he wasn't prepared for times like these. In times like these, I can't help but think it's all my fault. Help him, Father, it's me who's putting him through all this.
Something's the matter with Daddy.
Should we pray for him, Mommy?
Yes, Pete. Pray. Pray very hard.
Dear
Dear God, I don't know.
The voices carry heavenward, and Joseph, the superintendent of angels, summons Clarence, an apprentice angel.
You sent for me, sir.
Yes, Clarence. A man down on earth needs our help.
Oh, well, splendid. Is he sick?
No, worse. He's discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
Oh, dear, his life! Well, then I haven't a moment to lose. What are they wearing now?
You will spend that hour getting acquainted with George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, might I perhaps win my wings? It's been over 200 years now, and, well, people are beginning to talk.
What's that book you've got there?
Oh, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for me.
Oh, fine book. Excellent. Well, you do a good job with George Bailey, and we'll see about your wings.
Oh, thank you!
Now, if you're going to help George, you'll want to know a little about him. Look, see the town.
Oh, why, yes, a group of young boys sledding down a snow-covered hill onto the ice. Oh, this is amazing! Yippee! Who's that?
That's your problem, George Bailey.
A boy?
That's him when he was 12, back in 1919. Something happens here that you'll have to remember later on.
And here comes the scare baby, my kid brother, Harry Bailey.
Well, I'm not scared! Yippee! Wow! Oh, dear! Harry's fallen through the ice!
I'm coming, Harry. Make a chain, gang, a chain.
So Harry fell through the ice. But George saved him.
Yes, Clarence, and ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water, you understand.
Bad ear? Yes, sir!
The other event came a few months later. George took an after-school job at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower, George Bailey.
Here, ahoy!
Yes, sir.
Hi, Georgie. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Violet.
2 cents worth of shoelaces, Violet.
Mary was here first.
I'm still thinking.
Shoelaces?
Please, Georgie. Oh, I like him.
You like every boy.
What's wrong with that?
Here you are.
Bye, Georgie. See you later, Mary.
Made up your mind yet, Mary?
I'll take chocolate.
With coconuts?
I don't like coconuts.
You don't like coconuts? Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from? Look here. Tahiti, the Fiji Islands, the Coral Sea.
What's that you got there? A new magazine. I've never seen that before.
Of course you never. I've been nominated for membership in the National Geographic Society. Let me get your ice cream.
Is this the ear you can't hear on? Oh, George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
I'm going out exploring someday, you watch. And I'm going to have a couple of harems and maybe 3 or 4 wives to wait and see.
George!
Yes, sir.
You're not paid to be a canary.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, George.
Bye, Mary.
What was that piece of paper George just picked up?
That was a telegram for Mr. Gower. He found out this morning that his son died of influenza.
Oh, awful!
Yes, and he spent the afternoon drowning his grief in whiskey.
Mr. Gower, do you want something? Anything?
No.
Anything I can do back here?
No.
Oh, I'll get them, sir. What's this bottle, Mr. Gower?
Never mind that. Take those capsules over to Mrs. Blaine's.
Yes, sir. They have the diphtheria there, haven't they, sir? Is it a charge, sir?
Yes, charge.
Mr. Gower, I think...
Oh, get going.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gower.
What is it?
Mr. Gower, that bottle you used, you put something wrong in those capsules.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Ow, you're hurting my sore ear.
Did you hear what I said? Get out of here.
Oh, Mr. Gower, you got that telegram and you're upset. But look, Mr. Gower, look. Look. This bottle, you used this bottle to make up the capsules. It's poison.
Poison?
Don't hit my sore ear again.
Poison? Oh, George.
All I wanted to do was make sure, Mr. Gower. I won't tell a soul. Hope to die, I won't.
Oh, George.
Did he ever tell anybody about those pills?
Not a soul.
Well, did he ever marry the girl? Did he ever go exploring?
We'll get there soon enough, Clarence. When George Bailey grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't the money. So he worked 4 years in the Building and Loan Association.
Building and Loan Association?
George's father was in the building and loan business, along with George's Uncle Billy. George, what's the combination to the safe?
We wrote it down so you wouldn't forget it.
That's right. Where?
In your wallet, Uncle Billy.
Thanks. Lovable fellow. Just forgetful is all.
Ooh, who's that?
That's Henry F. Potter, the richest and meanest man in all the county. Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey. There's nothing quite so loathsome as a family business. Now, Peter, you know what I'm here for. I'm on a very tight schedule. Family to evict at 3. All right, Mr. Potter, then here's the thing. I just need a little more time, just 30 short days. I'll dig up that 5,000 somehow. Have you put any real pressure on those people of yours to pay their mortgages? Times are hard, Mr. Potter. A lot of people are out of work. Then foreclose. I can't do that. These families have children. They're not my children, but they're somebody's children, Mr. Potter. Are you running a business or a charity ward? Well, all right. Not with my money. Oh, Mr. Potter, what makes you such a hard-skulled character? You have no family, no children. You can't begin to spend all the money you got. So, I suppose I should give it to miserable failures like you and that idiot brother of yours to spend for me.
He's not a failure. You can't say that about my pop.
George.
Well, you're not. You're the biggest man in town.
All right, son, thanks. I'll talk to you tonight.
Don't let him say things like that about your pop.
Tonight. What kind of business are you running here? Good God, man. George worked for his father, steady enough to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe. George got a job on a cattle boat. And he was ready to do a little traveling before college. Old man Gower surprised him with the gift of a great big suitcase. On his way home from the store, he ran into his friends Ernie the cab driver and Bert the cop.
Hey, Ernie.
Hiya, George.
Hi, Bert.
Hey, George. Say, what's the suitcase for?
I'm a rich tourist today. How about giving me a ride home in style?
Sure, Your Highness. Hop in the cab. And for the carriage trade, I puts on my hat.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. Oh, looks like you're ready to get out of here.
Hello, Violet.
Hey, you look good. That's some dress you got on there.
Oh, this old thing? I only wear this when I don't care how I look. See you later.
How would you like?
Yes.
Want to come along, Blake? We'll show you the town.
No, I think I'll go home and see what the wife's doing.
Family man. George saved up money to go away to college. His bags were packed, and he was all set to go.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I can't believe this is my last night in the old Bailey boarding house.
We're sure going to miss you, George.
I'm going to miss you too, Pop. What's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with old Henry Potter today.
Oh,
I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us.
I wonder what's eating that old money-grubbing buzzard anyway.
Oh, he's a sick man. Frustrated and sick. Sick in his mind, sick in his soul, if he has one. Hates anybody that has anything he can't have. Hates us, mostly, I guess.
Hey, George, can I borrow your tuxedo studs?
Sure, Harry, help yourself.
Well, where are they? In your suitcase?
Well, I'm not taking a tuxedo on a cattle boat, you know.
Say, where'd you get a fine piece of luggage like that anyway?
Mr. Gower, it was a going-away present. And one day you're going to see this travel label, this luggage all covered with travel labels. Italy, Baghdad.
Hey, why don't you go to the dance tonight?
I wouldn't be bored to death.
Well, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls. Hey, I gotta get going, all right?
I wish we could send Harry to college with you, George.
Oh, we've got that all figured out. And see, he'll go for 4 years and take my job at the building and loan. Then he'll come back and he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
Well, no younger than I was.
You were born older, George. I suppose you've decided what you're going to do when you get out of college.
No. What I've always talked about. Building things. Designing new buildings. Planning modern cities.
Still after that first million before you're 30?
No, I'll sell for half that in cash.
Of course it's just a hope, but I guess you wouldn't consider coming back to the building and loan, would you? I know it's early to talk about it.
No, I couldn't face being cooped up in a shabby little office for the rest of my life. Oh, I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't mean that remark. It's just this business of nickels and dimes and trying to save 3 cents on a length of pipe. I'd go crazy. I want to do something big and something important.
You know, George, I feel in some small way we are doing something important. Satisfying a fundamental urge. It's not too much for a man to own his own roof and walls and fireplace. And we're helping him get those things in our shabby little office.
I know, Pop. I wish I felt this. Half my friends have already finished college. I just feel like if I don't get away, I bust.
Yes, you're right, boy. This town's no place to live if you're not willing to crawl to power. You get yourself an education, then get out of here.
I'm glad you see what I'm talking about. Say, I think I'm going to go down on Old Main Street. Last night in town hall.
Have a good time, son.
Ooh, who's that?
Why, that's Violet Vick.
The little girl from the candy counter?
That's right.
Good afternoon, Georgie Porgy.
Hi, Violet.
Well, what gives?
Nothing.
Well, where are you going?
No, I'll probably end up at the
The
library.
li- George, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes. What are you doing tonight, Vi?
Not a thing.
What do you say? Are you up for it? Let's make a night of it.
Oh, I'd love to, George. What do we do?
Let's go out in the field and take off our shoes and walk in the grass. Then we can go up to Stewart Lake. It's beautiful up there in the moonlight, and we can swim. We can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sunrise against the peaks. Then we'll stay up there the whole night, and the whole town will be talking, and it'll be a terrific scandal.
George, have you gone crazy? Walk in the grass in my bare feet? It is 10 miles up to Mount Bedford. You think just because...
We're all right. Just forget about the whole thing.
Forget about what, George?
Nothing, Sam.
Oh, you remember Mary, don't you?
Hi, George.
Hi, Mary.
Say, you wouldn't mind walking Mary home for me, would you, George?
Oh, no, not at all. As long as it's okay with you, Mary.
Fine by me.
Great! Thanks! So, George walked Mary home. Is that important, Joseph?
I'd say it is, because even though Mary lived only 4 blocks away, it took them 2 hours to get there.
Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
Dog, just like an organ. Gee whiz.
Beautiful.
You know, if it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will. How old are you anyway?
18.
18?
Too young?
Or too old.
Oh no. Just right. Your age fits you. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I gotta throw a rock.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
No, don't you know about deserted houses? You make a wish and you throw a rock.
But George, it's such a lovely old place. I wished I lived there.
In there? I wouldn't live in there if I was a ghost. Now watch this. Pretty good shot, huh? How about broke a window, huh?
What'd you wish, George?
Not just one wish, Mary. A whole hatful. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm going to come back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high and bridges a mile long. Hey, what, are you going to throw a rock too? Pretty good shot, Mary. What'd you wish for?
Oh, no. If I tell you, it may not come true.
Hey, come on. What'd you wish for? What do you want? Do you want the moon? All you gotta do is say the word now.
Okay. The moon. I'll take it. And then what?
Then what? I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down, and then you'd swallow it. And it'd dissolve, see? And little moonbeams would shoot out your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. I'm talking too much, aren't I?
Yes. Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Who's that?
Old man Collins on his front porch.
Youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, you come back out here. You come back out here and I'll show you some kissing and I'll put hair back on your head. You come back out here.
George.
Uncle Billy?
George, hop in the car quick. Your father's had a stroke.
I'm sorry, Mary. I've got to go.
George's father died that night, Clarence. So of course George couldn't go to Europe. But that fall, as he was ready to leave for college, the directors of the building and loan held a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor.
Well, you know why Papa brought us here.
I want the board to know that George gave up his trip to Europe to help straighten things out here these past few months, and it was greatly appreciated. I think that's all we'll need from you for now, George. I know you're anxious to make a trade. Good luck at college.
Yes, I have a taxi waiting downstairs.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to get to my real purpose. I claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to dissolve the building and loan and turn its assets and liabilities over to the receiver.
It is too soon after Peter Bailey's death to discuss chloroforming the building and loan. It was his faith and devotion that were responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'll say that to the public, Peter Bailey was the building in load. Oh, that's fine, Potter, coming from you. Considering you probably drove him to his grave. Peter Bailey was not a businessman. That's what killed him. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect to him. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But ideals without common sense can ruin this town. What does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible hooey. Now I say...
Now wait a minute. Hold it right there, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman, I know that. Why he ever started this cheap, penny-ante building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character, because his whole life was... Why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy?
You got that right.
He hardly saved enough money to send Harry to college, let alone me. But he did help some people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter, and what's wrong with that? Here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said that. Oh, well, what did you just say a minute ago? That they should wait and save before they ought to even think of a decent house. Wait? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that they... Do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to ask to work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? My father didn't think so. To him, people were human beings. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. And in my book, my father died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
Here, George.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about, Mr. Potter. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's calling. That's what you're talking about, Mr. Potter. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You can decide what to do with this thing. I will say one more thing, though. This town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have a place to go without crawling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Sentimental hogwash.
Oh, they're coming out of the board meeting. I'm gonna have to call you back. One thing's happening there, George. All we heard was a lot of yelling.
Boy, oh boy, Matilda, you should have heard George.
Yeah, they're voting us down in there.
George, get out of here. You missed your boat trip. Do you want to miss college too? Don't worry about the board. They're putting us out of business. So what? I can get another job. I'm only 55.
Yeah, you're 58.
That's a wonderful idea. I don't know why we didn't think of this before.
George! We're still in business! They voted Potter down!
Oh, me, we're still in business. We're still in business.
But there is one condition. They've appointed you to take your father's place.
Appointing me? No, I'm leaving. Oh, Uncle Billy here. He's your man.
Oh, you can keep him on. That's all right.
No. Let's get this straight. I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to school. This is my last chance.
But, George, you've got to take it. They'll vote with Potter otherwise. So George Bailey never went to college.
That's right, Clarence. He gave his college money to his brother Harry, and Harry went instead.
But what happened to that good-looking girl? You know, Mary!
George saw her every now and then. Not very often, though, because Mary went away to school, too. Anyway, George waited 4 years more for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan. Then he could still see the world. He planned to work in the oil fields of Venezuela.
There she blows! Say, Uncle Billy, you know what the 3 most wonderful sounds on earth are?
Breakfast is served, lunch is served.
No! Engines and motors and train whistles. Here's the professor now.
Well, if it isn't George Geographic Explorer Bailey. And Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
Nobody ever changes around here, you know that.
Boy, Harry, am I glad to see you.
Say, where's Mother?
And she's home cooking the fatted calf. Come on, let's go.
Oh, wait. This is Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Well, I wired you that I had a surprise, and here she is. Meet my wife.
Well, what do you know? Wife.
Well, how do you do? What am I doing? Congratulations! Congratulations, Harry! Well, why didn't you tell somebody? And what's a pretty girl like you marrying this 2-headed brother of mine?
I'll tell you, it's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh, he gets you and a job. Harry's cup runneth over. Come on, Ruth. Let's start ahead and leave the bags for the fellas.
All right.
Listen, George, about that job. Ruth spoke out of turn. I never said I would take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years, and, well, I won't let you down.
It's all right, Harry. It's all right.
And that night, the homecoming for Harry became his wedding party. Uncle Billy familiarized himself with the spirits. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I feel so good I could spit in Potter's eye. I think I will. What do you say? Maybe I should go home? If you just point me in the right direction.
Right down there.
Down that way, huh? Okay, old building and loan pal. See you later. I'm all right.
George!
Oh, I'm out here, Mother. Out on the porch. I thought I'd get some air.
Well, how do you like the new sister-in-law?
She's swell.
Looks like she'll keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah. Keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
George, did you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Yeah? Yeah?
Nice girl got married.
Uh-huh.
Oh, stop that grumbling. Give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary.
Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about it.
Well, she's not crazy about
Oh,
him.
and how do you know that? Did you discuss it with her?
Besides, Sam's away in New York, and you're here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war.
Well, I don't know about war, but...
All right, Mother. I'll go out and find the girl and do some passionate necking.
Oh, George!
Bye, Mrs. Bailey. By the way, do you want anything from the library?
George! You go call on Mary, you hear?
Oh, hello, George.
Oh. Hi, Mary. I just took a walk and happened to be passing by.
Well, your mother just phoned and said you were on your way over to pay me a visit.
My mother called me. Well, how did she know?
Well,
I didn't tell anybody I was coming here. I just took a walk and happened to be passing by. What do you... I took a walk. That's all. When did you come back?
Tuesday? Would you like to come in?
I guess, since I'm here. Say, that's some dress you got on there.
Do you like it?
It's all right. I just thought you'd go back to New York with Sam and Francie and the rest of them.
Well, I worked there a couple vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Well, yes. For my family and, everything. Would you like to sit down?
For a minute. I still don't understand it, though. I didn't tell anybody I was coming here.
Well, would you rather leave?
No. I just don't want to be rude.
It was nice about Harry and Ruth, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, so it's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about?
No. Marriage is okay for Harry and Sam Wainwright. You?
Mary! Mary! Who's out there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey! What does he want?
Well, I don't know. What do you want, George?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
Oh, you told to go right back home! Oh, and don't you leave the house. Sam Wainwright promised to call from New York tonight, didn't he?
You know, your mother needn't. I didn't come here to,
Well, what did you come here for?
well, I don't know. You tell me. You're the one who's supposed to know everything. You tell me.
Oh, why don't you go home?
Well, that's where I'm going. I don't know why I came here in the first place.
Mary, the telephone! It's Sam!
I'll get it. Hee-haw, hello, Sam. How are you?
Great! Gee, it's good to hear your voice again.
Well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
You mean old Mossback George?
Oh, Mossback George.
Put him on!
Wait a minute, I'll call him. George.
He doesn't want to see the George, you idiot!
He does, so he asked for him. George, Sam wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, a fine pal you are. What are you trying to do? Steal my girl?
What are you talking about? Nobody's trying to steal your girl.
No, I want to talk to both of you. Have Mary get on the extension.
Mother is on the extension.
I am not!
Wait a minute, Sam, we can both hear you. George, just put your head a little bit closer.
Okay.
There we go, that's better. We're listening, Sam.
All right, now, I got a deal that's gonna make us all rich. You remember that night at Martini's bar, George, when you were talking to me about making plastics out of soybeans?
Huh? Soybeans. Yeah, soybeans, yeah.
Well, I spoke to my father about it, and now he's gonna build a factory outside of Rochester. How do you like that?
Rochester. Why Rochester?
Well, why not? Can you think of any place better?
I don't know. Why not right here in Bedford Falls? You tell your father he can get the old tool and machinery works for a song, and all the labor he wants too. Half the town is thrown out of work when they shut it down.
Yeah. I'll tell him. Yeah! Oh, baby, I knew you'd come through! Now, here's the point, George. I may have a job for you. That is, unless you're still married to that old broken down building and loan. Oh, Mary.
I'm here.
You tell that guy that I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime. You hear?
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Give me that phone. Mary? I don't want any classes. And I don't want any job. And I don't want to get married. Ever. To anyone. I want to do what I want to do, and you're not going to
You're not going to. Mary.
George?
Oh, Mary. I love you.
I love you too.
We will return to WBFR Playhouse of the Air's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life in just a few moments. But first, gentlemen, does your hair resemble a dried out bird's nest full of dandruff flakes? Do you plaster your hair down like a cheap gigolo, smelling to high heaven?
P.U. What a stink!
When girls get a gander at the tip-top of your noggin, do they go,
Ew!
well, here's a friendly hint that may just help you out in the romance department.
Oh!
Starting tomorrow, why not try Bremel Hair Tonic? Yes, sirree, you'll be heading for success with Bremel groomed hair. A success with the gals and on the job. Bremel always keeps hair looking mighty attractive, always in place, a real sex appealer. Bremel Hair Tonic does lots more than keep hair handsome looking.
Ramble the swank hair tonic makes your filthy bird's nest clean. A little dab will do ya, all the pretty gals will scream. Not only will dames love it, your barber will shut up with glee. Ramble the swank hair tonic, your dandruff will be history.
And now, back to It's a Wonderful Life. George and Mary were married, and after the wedding and reception, George's old pal, Ernie the cab driver, drove the happy couple to the train station. Hey, where you two going on this here now, honeymoon?
We're gonna shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda. The highest hotels, the richest caviar, the oldest champagne, the hottest wife.
Here's the key, Ernie. $2,000. So I feel like a bootlegger's wife.
So you're finally getting out of Bedford Falls, huh? Then what?
Then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
No, that does it. Say, Mrs. Bailey, I haven't kissed
Hey,
you.
George, there's something funny going on over there. Look, over there at the bank. It looks like a run.
Pull over there a minute, will you, Ernie?
Oh no, George, please, let's not stop. Let's go straight to the station.
I better figure out what this is. I'll be right back.
Please, George. No, what's going on? What is going on? Pull us down. Oh, we need to be able to get some money.
Hey, Uncle Billy, what is this, a holiday? Why are the doors locked?
This is a pickle, George.
All right, now what happened?
All I know is the bank called our loan. I had to hand out all our cash.
All of it.
Every last cent of it.
Holy mackerel.
And then I got scared, George, and I closed the doors.
Our charter says we have to stay open till 6 o'clock or we lose our license.
Bailey Brothers building in... George, it's Potter.
Hello?
George, there's a rumor around town that you closed your doors. Is that true?
No, it isn't.
Do you need any police? Mobs get pretty ugly sometimes, you know.
We're fine.
We'll see. Now, George, I'm going all out to help in this crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close for a week, then reopen. I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people to. Just tell them to bring their shares over here, and I'll pay 50 cents on the dollar.
You don't miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, you're going to miss this one.
If you close your doors before 6 p.m., you'll never reopen.
You just took over the banks, Billy. Open the doors, let them in. As it appears, I just got off the phone with Mr. Potter, and he says he's giving out cash payments at the bank.
At the bank?
You're thinking of this place all wrong, and your money's not here.
What do you mean?
Wait a minute, listen to me! Your money's not here. It's in the McLaren house, in the Kennedy house, and in your house, and 100 others. Now what are you going to do, foreclose on them?
I got $242 in here, and $242 isn't gonna break anybody.
All right, Charlie, now you'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
That's what you agreed to when you bought your shares.
I got my money, old man Potter's taking over the bank. He'll pay you 50 cents on every dollar. That's what I heard. 50 cents on every dollar.
He'll get hold of this building alone. He's got the banks. He's got the bus lines, he's got the department stores, and now he's after us. Because he wants to keep you living in his shacks, paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now we can get through this all right. We've just got to stick together. We've got to have faith in each other.
My husband's out of work. We need money.
I got doctor bills to pay.
I can't feed me kids with faith.
How much do you need? We've got some money. We have $2,000 from the wedding.
Hey, Mary. Hey, we've got $2,000 here. This will tide us over till the bank reopens. All right, Charlie, now how much did you need?
$242.
Charlie, just enough to tide you over till the bank reopens.
I'll take $242, George.
Okay. Okay, all right. Uncle Billy, give Charlie here $242. All right, Ed, now how much do you need just to get by?
$20, I suppose?
Now we're talking. All right, Mrs. Thompson, how about you?
But it's your own money,
Okay,
George.
never mind about that, Mrs. Thompson. How much do you want?
Could I have $17.50?
70. Of course you can have it. Bless your heart, Uncle Billy. Give Mrs. Thompson $17.50. All right. All right, who's next?
Look at the clock. Look.
5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 6 o'clock. We made it. Lock those doors, Uncle Billy. Oh, we're still in business, and we've even got $2 left.
Bailey Brothers building in just a minute. George has a call for you.
Look, will you get my wife on the phone? She's probably at her mother's.
Mrs. Bailey's on the phone.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife. Oh, Mrs. Bailey. Oh, that is my wife. Hello? Listen, dear, I'm sorry. What? Come home? What home? 320 Sycamore. Now, whose home is that? The Waldorf Hotel, huh?
That doesn't look like the Waldorf.
Oh no, number 320 Sycamore was the old Granville house. The one George and Mary threw rocks at and made wishes. Mary had prepared the house, including a turkey dinner, romantic decorations, and even a marriage bed.
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
Well, I'll be.
Do you remember that night that we broke the windows in this old place? This is what I wished for.
Darling, You're wonderful!
Yes, sir, that's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started their lives together. Mary had prepared the house. She made the leaky old house into a home, while George toiled away at the building and loan office, providing houses for people like Giuseppe Martini.
Hey, Martini, brand new house.
Alright! Ha! I own this house. Me, Giuseppe Martini. But no more we live like a pigs in Potter's Field.
We have something for you and your family, Mr. Martini. George and I bring something for all the new owners.
Oh, Father Martinis, Maria, come quick and first the housewarming gifts. Bring the kids. Where?
Bread, so that this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle!
Bailey houses were popping up all over the place, mostly owned by people who used to live in Potter's Field. And Potter had had just about enough of that. So, after a couple of years, old man Potter decided to call our George into his office.
That's him now.
That's not our telephone. It's not the script. Sit down, George. Sit down. Have a cigar.
Thank you, sir. Quite a cigar, Mr. Potter.
You like it? I'll send you a box.
Well, I suppose I'll find out sooner or later, but just what exactly did you want to see me about?
Now, George, that's just what I like most about you. George, I'm an old man, and most people hate me, but I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. You know as well as I do, I run practically everything in this town but the Bailey Building and Loan. You also know that for a number of years I've been trying to get control of it, or kill it, but I haven't been able to do it. You have been stopping me. In fact, you have beaten me, George, and that takes some doing. Take during the Depression, for instance. You and I were the only ones who kept our heads. You saved the building and loan, and I saved all the rest.
Yes, well, most people say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones say that, George. The suckers. Now, let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week?
45.
45?
45.
Well, if you were some ordinary yokel, I would say you were doing just fine. But George Bailey is intelligent, ambitious. He hates the building and loan almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of this town ever since he was born. A young man, the smartest one of the crowd, mind you, who has to sit back and watch his friends go places because he's trapped. Trapped into frittering his life away, playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, George, or do I exaggerate?
What's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is, you're the only man in town who's licked me. I want to hire you, manage my affairs. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple of business trips to New York a year, once in a while Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
What about the building and loan?
Confound it, man. I just offered you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal, or isn't it?
I know I ought to jump at the chance, Mr. Potter, but I wonder if you might give me 24 hours to think about it.
Sure. You go home and talk to your wife.
Yeah, I'd like that.
In the meantime, I'll draw up the papers, and soon you'll be managing my affairs.
Your affair. No. The answer is no, doggone it. You sit here, you spin your little webs, and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. And the whole vast configurations of things, I'd say you're nothing but a scurvy little spider.
What did Mr. Potter want, George?
No, nothing, just talk, nothing. Oh, Mary Hatch, why in the world would you ever marry a guy like me anyway?
To keep from being an old maid.
I was going to see the world. I was going to go to college. I was going to give you a honeymoon. And what have I given you? What have I given you? Not a new dress, not for months. You could have married Sam Wainwright, anybody else in town.
Well, I didn't want to marry anyone else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
I didn't even give you a honeymoon. I promised you. Your what?
My baby.
Mary? Are you on the nest?
George Bailey, Laxell Stork.
Well, Mary had her baby. A boy.
Well, what do you know?
Then she had a girl.
You don't say.
Night after night, George would come home late from the office. Things weren't good with the building and loan. Potter was really bearing down hard. Then came the war. Mary had another baby by then, but still had time to run the USO. Gower and Uncle Billy sold war bonds. Violet entertained the troops. Bert the cop was wounded in North Africa, got the Silver Star. Ernie the cab driver parachuted into France. Harry Bailey topped them all. A Navy flyer, he shot down 15 planes. 2 of them as they were about to crash into a transport full of soldiers.
Yes, sir, but George, what about George?
George, 4F because of his ear. George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls. Air raid warden, paper drives, scrap drives, rubber drives. On VE Day, he wept and prayed. VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence, you know now almost everything you need to know about George Bailey, except what happened that finds him down there at this moment, wanting to die.
Well, sir? Well?
Well, it's the day before Christmas, and Billy is at the bank to make a deposit when he ran into Old Man Potter. Well, Mr. Henry F. Potter. Come to the bank to deposit some more loot, huh? Sure, you old fool. How do you like the news in the paper, Mr. Potter? Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Just can't keep those Bailey boys down now, can you? Let me see that newspaper. Here you go. Sorry I can't chat, you old thief. Gotta make a deposit.
Well, good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Good morning, Horace. Here you are. Deposit slip, bank book, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
Ah, Merry Christmas to you, too. Say, you haven't forgotten something, have you?
What's that?
You want to make a deposit?
Well, certainly.
Well, it is customary to bring the money.
It's gone. Where did I put it? Where did I put that money? A terrible thing, Clarence. Terrible. Uncle Billy couldn't find the money because the envelope with the $8,000 was folded up inside that newspaper he gave to Old Man Potter. At the same time as Billy went looking for the deposit, Violet came to visit George at the building loan.
Hi, Violet.
Suppose you're getting everything set for the big party tonight?
You know you're invited. What's wrong?
You see right through me, don't you?
How much do you need?
Oh, I hate doing this to you, George, but I won't be asking for any more after this.
Well, what are you going to do, rob a bank, Vi?
I'm going to Manhattan.
What's in Manhattan?
Everything's in Manhattan. A new start, at least.
Well, what's the matter with New Start right here in Bedford Falls?
Well, I'll be. I never thought I'd hear that from you, George Bailey. I thought you hated this place.
I did, but this town has a charm of its own.
You should give tours, maybe.
I'm just thinking of you, Violet. Manhattan's a big place to take on your own.
I've made my decision. There's a midnight train tonight, and I plan to be on it.
It takes a lot of character to uproot yourself and start someplace new. Here's some dough.
No, George, don't.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to hawk your furs in that hat? Do you want to walk to New York? You know, they charge for meals and rent up there, same as they do in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
It's a loan. That's my business. Building a loan. Besides, you'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm glad I know you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
Merry Christmas, George.
George.
Uncle, what? The state examiner's coming today, and I've been all over.
Today.
Yeah, she wants the accounts payable. What's the matter with you?
The money, the $8,000.
What, Uncle Billy? What happened to it?
I don't know. I was going to deposit it, and when I got to the bank, I didn't have it.
$8,000, Uncle Billy? The state examiner's coming today, and that's not our money. That belongs to the depositor.
I'm so sorry, George. I just don't know what happened.
Well, the first place you look is in your coat pocket. I told you to put it in there before you left.
Oh, I'm no good to you, George. I'm just no good.
Okay, well, we'll go back and retrace your steps, and we'll leave no stone unturned.
And as Billy and George went looking for the deposit, Potter had a meeting with the state bank examiner, a Miss Sadie Vance.
The whole town's turned upside down for the Bailey boys' homecoming congressional medal and all.
I suppose they do things like that.
Oh, may I see your paper?
Go ahead.
This is a bank deposit from Bailey.
That old fool, Billy Bailey, gave me that newspaper.
And you're going to deposit it for him, right, Potter?
To think he would make such a foolish mistake. Look at how much it is.
There's $8,000 here.
What a Christmas present. And he doesn't even know it.
Oh, now just a minute, Potter. I know you've been giving the Baileys a hard time far back as I can remember, but why?
I don't have to give answers to you. You're just a state examiner.
Yes, and I'm unimpressed with how you've been buying off everyone in town. Oh, that's it. You could never buy the Baileys.
What?
You heard me. The Baileys have always stood for something you've always wanted and been so jealous of. They're honest.
You're fired.
You can't fire me. I'm state appointed. And what's more, I'm not going to turn my back. This is stealing from the Baileys. Something like this would certainly cause them to fold.
Yes, and after 25 years, finders keepers, you know that. He gave me the money. It's his own fault. Besides, there's not a court in the county that would find me guilty.
Oh, and we all know why.
How's your family, Sadie?
My family.
I know how little state positions pay. What would you say to a little Christmas bonus?
I want no part of this.
That's not what I've heard.
What are you insinuating, Potter?
I will not be turned down.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to pay the Baileys a surprise visit. You'll see the records. They'll be short. You know the rest. At last, the Baileys will be down where they belong. Down for good.
I know just what to do.
Sure you put the money in your pocket?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Uncle Billy, we've got to find that money!
Oh, I'm no good to you, George. I'm just...
Listen, do you have a secret hiding place anywhere in the house?
I've been over the whole house, even in rooms that have been locked ever since I lost your Aunt Laura.
Listen to me, think.
I can't think anymore, George. It hurts.
Where's the money, you stupid, silly old fool? Do you know what this means? It means bankruptcy, and scandal and prison. One of us is going to jail, and it's not going to be me.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Daddy.
Daddy, did you bring the wreath?
What wreath?
Well, the Merry Christmas wreath for the window.
No, I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, it just started.
Well, where's it?
At the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Well, isn't it wonderful about Harry? We're famous, George. I bet I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother is so
She
excited.
playing that?
I have to practice for the party tonight, Daddy.
Mommy says we can stay up until midnight and sing Christmas carols.
Can you sing too, Daddy?
We're in great shape, George. The families will be here soon.
Families? I don't want the families over here.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Have a hectic day?
Yeah, another big red letter day for the Baileys.
Daddy, the Browns next door have a new car. You should see it.
Well, what's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy.
Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
I've heard.
All right, darling, you're excused. Now go upstairs and see what little Zuzu wants.
What's the matter with Susie?
Oh, she got a cold. Caught coming home from school. They gave her a flower for price, and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
Well, what is it? A sore throat?
The doctor says it's nothing
Was the
serious.
doctor here?
Well, yes, I called him right away.
Is she running a temperature?
Just a teasing one.
It's this old house. It's trapped the old barn. I'm surprised we don't all have pneumonia. It's like living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to stick around this crummy old town anyway?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong? Everything is wrong. You call this a happy family? Why do we have to have so many kids?
Dad, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Well, where are you going?
Upstairs to see Susan.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, well, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
Where do you think you're going?
I want to give my flower a drink.
No, here, give Daddy the flower, he'll give it a drink.
Look, some of the petals came off. Paste it.
Yeah, all right. I'll take the petals here and I'll paste them. There we go. Good as new.
Give the flower a drink.
Now, will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try and get some sleep?
I'm not sleepy. I want to look at my flower.
I know, but just go to sleep and you can dream about it. And it'd be a whole garden.
It will?
Uh-huh.
Telephone! I'll get it.
Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Well, thank you, Mrs. Welch. The doctor says she'll be out of bed in time for her Christmas dinner.
Is that Susie's teacher?
Yes.
Here, let me talk to her. Hello, Mrs. Welch? Yes, this is Mr. Bailey. Say, what kind of teacher are you anyway, sending our kids home like that, half naked?
George!
Is this the kind of thing we pay taxes for, to have silly, stupid teachers like you? Oh, that's stupid!
Hello, Mrs. Welch. I want to apologize. Hello? Hello? She hung up.
I'll hang her up. Hello? Oh, Mr. Welch! Well, all right, gives me a chance to tell you what I really think of your wife. Will you get out of here with the ambulance? Hello? Oh, you will ya? All right, but whenever you think we're mad enough. Hello? Eddie!
Dad, how do you spell hallelujah?
I don't know. Ask your mother. Janie, you're having to learn that silly tune. You're gonna stop it. Stop it!
George, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. You go on, keep practicing. Pete, I owe you an apology too. What do you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
Well, what's the matter with everyone? Janie, I told you to play. Now go on, play!
Oh, Daddy!
George, why don't you torture the children? Why don't
Mary!
Where's Daddy going?
Bedford 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Yes, Pete.
Should we pray for him?
Yes, Jane. Pray. Pray very hard.
Me too.
You too, Tommy. Hello? Uncle Billy?
So that's it, George. You're short 8,000 in the books, eh?
I'll pay any sort of interest if you still want the building and home.
You say it was lost. Did you notify the police?
No, I haven't done that yet. Harry's homecoming's
Why
tomorrow,
did you
and
come to me? What about your good friend, Sam Wainwright?
well, he's in Europe. I can't get a hold of him.
What kind of security would I have, George? What collateral?
I have a $15,000 life insurance policy.
How much is your equity in it?
$500.
And you want 8,000. Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you but a warped, frustrated young man, crawling in here on your hands and knees for help? No securities, no stocks, no bonds. You're worth more dead than you are alive. Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so much and ask them for help?
Mr. Potter, won't you help me? My wife, my kids.
You know what I'm going to do for you? As a stockholder of the building and loan, I'm going to call the state examiner and get a warrant for your arrest.
No.
Misappropriation of funds. Malfeasance.
Mr. Potter, you can't do this.
Manipulation.
No, they can't arrest me!
Go on and run. You can't hide in a little town like this. Merry Christmas, George. And now, more from our...
We gotta get out of this funk.
I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we are the victim of another power outage. So it may take us about 15 minutes to get it all straightened out, and we'll be back. And there's only 30 minutes left in the second act, so be sure and come back for the remainder of the show, and I'm sure we'll be just fine. I do apologize for the inconvenience. Hide in a little town like this. Merry Christmas, George. And now, more from our sponsors. Are you guilty of careless driving because of bug-spattered windshields spoiled your vision?
Well, I am!
Stop straining to see through a bug-spattered windshield. Duck's toilet cake gets squashed bugs off quickly, easily. Yes, even when they're baked into the glass by the sun.
Remember, you need good brakes as well as clear vision to avoid accidents. You'll find Duck's toilet cake leaf splash polish so crystal clear, you'll hardly know it's there.
I feel so much safer after I clean my windshield with Duck's toilet cake. It leaves no dangerous, oily film to make night driving difficult.
Duck's toilet cake, the soap of 100 uses.
You better wash high.
You better wash low.
Behind your ears too.
I'm telling you so. Duck's toilet cake is cleaning up town. It washes up cars, it washes up bars.
And out in LA it washes up stars.
Duck's toilet cake is cleaning up town.
It's found in every bathroom, from sea to shining sea.
It's used by our dear president. It's used by you and me. Oh! You better wash high.
You better wash low.
Behind your ears too.
I'm telling you so. Duck's toilet cake is cleaning up town.
I think the point goes today. And now, the dramatic conclusion of It's a Wonderful Life.
Merry Christmas! I'm glad you come. How about some of that fine spaghetti martini? We got everything. Where's George, sir? Where?
After running out of Potter's office, George ended up in Martini's bar. He's had a couple of drinks, Clarence. He's just sitting there.
What's he saying? Who is he?
God. God, dear Father in heaven. I'm not a praying man. But if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way.
Are you all right, George? You want somebody to take you home?
Are you all right, Mr. Bailey? Please, go home, Mr. Bailey. Go home. Bailey? Did you say Bailey? Which Bailey? This is Mr. Bailey. George Bailey. George Bailey, huh? And the next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. It isn't enough she slaves away teaching your stupid kids how to read and write. You've got to ball her out. You get out of here, Mr. Welch. You hear my best friend. Get out! All right. Mr. Bailey, are you okay?
Who was that?
Mr. Welch. But don't worry. He no come in this place no more. Here, let me get something for your face. It's a bleeding.
All right.
Please, Mr. Bailey, don't go away.
Leave me alone.
Please, Mr. Bailey, leave me alone!
George is headed for the bridge now, Clarence. And you see him.
Yes, he looks like he's gonna jump!
It's time, Clarence.
Excuse me! Have you got time?
My watch is dead.
Thanks! Just the same! Wow! Help! Help! I can't swim!
Hey, hold it, mister! I'm
What in Sam Hill are the two of you doing? This storm's not fit for man or beast. Now get out of that water. Are you two all right? Do you need a doctor?
No, I'm all right.
I'm fine. This underwear, I didn't have any time to get anything stylish. My wife gave these to me on my last birthday. I passed away in them.
Passed away.
Oh, and I see Tom Sawyer is trying out too.
Who?
Tom Sawyer, my book. I was reading it when I came. You should really read the new book Mark Twain is working on.
Hey, how'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
Oh, you jumped in to save me.
Well, it worked, didn't it? You didn't go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide!
It's against the law to commit suicide around here?
It's against the law where I come from, too.
Where do you come from?
Heaven.
What?
I had to act quickly. I knew that if I were drowning, you would try to save me. And you see, you did. That's how I saved you.
Oh, that's very fun.
Your lip's bleeding, George.
Yeah, I got a bust in the jaw and answer to a prayer.
No, George. I'm the answer to your prayer.
How do you know my name?
I know everything about you. I've watched you grow up from a little boy.
Oh. I see.
Ridiculous of you. What?
Who are you?
Clarence Osborne. AS2.
Hot body? AS2. Hey, well, what's that? AS2.
Angel. Second class.
Hey, I'm getting out of here. You may not need a doctor, but I do.
Well, cheerio, my good man.
Hey, look here. Why'd you try to save me?
Because I'm your guardian angel, George.
Oh, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
It was ridiculous of you to think of killing yourself over money. $8,000!
Yeah, just things like that. Now, how do you know that?
Because I'm your guardian angel, George. I know everything about you.
Well, you look like the kind of angel I'd get. Sort of a fallen angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
I haven't won them yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them by letting me help you.
You wouldn't happen to have $8,000 on you, would you?
No, we don't use money in heaven.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Well, it comes in pretty handy down here, Bob.
Oh, tut, tut, tut.
Just found out a little too late. I'm worth more dead than alive.
You see that? You mustn't say things like that. I won't win my wings with that attitude. Why, you just don't know all the good that you've done. If it hadn't been for you...
Yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody would be a lot better off. My wife, my kids, and my friends.
This isn't going to be easy.
They'd all be better off if I'd never been born.
What did you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
Oh, George, that's wonderful!
Wonderful?
The idea you've just given me. Well, you've got your wish. You've never been born!
Never been born.
That's right. No worries. No $8,000 to do nothing. You simply don't exist.
Hey, wait a minute. This ear of mine. Say something else in that ear.
You don't have a bad ear anymore, George! Don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think you are. You're a... Oh, well... You're nobody.
Well, that's the doggonest thing.
Oh, your lips stopped the issue, George.
It has? Well, what do you know about that? What happened? I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? You want a drink?
Oh, well...
Come on. We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Our clothes are dry.
They are. That's funny. That stove's hotter than I thought it was. Well, look. We'll get dressed and stroll on over to Martini's. And oh, wait, excuse me. I'll stroll. You'll fly.
I haven't won my wings yet.
Oh, that's right. You haven't won your wings. Well, after a couple of drinks, we'll both fly. There's a place to sit down. I'll sit down. Hey, Nick. Clarence, welcome to the best bar in Bedford Falls.
Bedford Falls? Don't you mean Pottersville?
Pottersville. Hey, Nick, where's Martini?
Look, mister, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
Okay. All right. So give me a double bourbon. Make it quick. Huh?
Okay. What's yours, Bob?
I was just thinking of some mulled wine.
Huh?
Heavy on the cinnamon and light on the cloves now. Off with you, lad. Be lively now.
Hey, look, mister. We serve hard drinks in here for men who want to get drunk fast. And we don't need no characters around to give the joint atmosphere.
No, look, Nick, just give him the same as I ordered. He's okay.
Alright, 2 double bourbon.
What's with this place? It's all changed.
All of Bedford Falls has changed. You've got your wish, George. You've never been born. Oh, there will be lots of things you've never seen before. Oh, good. Somebody's just made it.
Made what?
Every time you hear a bell ring, it means that some angel's just gotten his wings.
What did you say?
Now, I think it's better that we don't talk about angels around here.
Don't they believe in them?
Well, they believe them. It's just...
Well, then why should they be so surprised when they see one?
Huh?
Don't mind him, Nick. He just never grew up. How old are you anyway, Clarence?
293. Next May.
That does it. Out you two pixies go through the door or out the window. Go on, get.
Nick, where's Martini? Will you tell him
Stop
the
asking about Martini. He ain't here. Well, look who just crawled out of whatever hole he was hiding in.
Mr. Gower?
Hey, look, you rummy, didn't I tell you never to come panhandling around here?
Look, George.
Hey, Mr. Gower, this is George Bailey. Don't you know me?
Will you buy me a drink, mister? Just one drink, mister. Pinky, throw the rummy out. You got it. Oh, no, please.
No, wait, Nick, isn't that Mr. Gower, the druggist?
That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Pinky, here's 2 more. Get him out of here. You got it, boss.
Here, let me help you, George. The snow is quite cold.
What happened to Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know who you are. You see, George, you were never there to stop him from putting the poison into that prescription.
What do you mean I wasn't there? Why am I seeing all these strange things? Well, what are you, a hypnotist?
Don't you see? It's because you have no identity.
No identity? Well, my name's George Bailey.
George Bailey doesn't exist. You see, you have no driver's license, no insurance policy, no papers, no 4F card.
Susie's petals.
What?
Susie's petals, my little girl, she had flowers and some petals fell off. And I was gonna stick them back on, but they're gone. Everything's gone.
George, don't you see? You've been given a great gift. The chance to see what your life would be like if you had never been born.
You're crazy. You're as crazy as a bed bug, and you're driving me crazy too. And I'm gonna go home to my wife and kids, you understand that? And I'm going home alone.
You know the drill. Hands behind your back, sister.
Oh, keep your hands off me. Why don't you bust somebody else for a change?
Hey, officer, what happened to the old building and loan?
The building and what?
The building and loan, it used to be up there.
They went out of business years ago. Now all that's left is this burlesque house.
Oh, not so fast, Copper. I know Potter.
Violet. Hey, that's Violet Bick.
I know, believe me, I know.
I know that girl.
Who doesn't? Get out of our way.
Hey, taxi! Oh, Ernie, will you take me home? I'm going off my nut.
Where do you live?
Oh, doggone it now, Ernie. Don't you start pulling that. You know where I live. 320 Sycamore. Now step on it.
Okay, 320 Sycamore?
Yeah, Zuzu's sick.
All right.
Now listen here, Ernie. I've got some bad liquor or something. Now, you are Ernie Bishop, and you live in Bailey Park with your wife and kids. That's correct, isn't it?
You've seen my wife.
Seen your wife? I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Potter's Field, and my wife ran away 3 years ago and took the kid. And I ain't never seen you before in my life.
Okay. All right, just step on it. Just get me home.
Is this the place?
Of course it's the place.
Well, this house ain't been lived in for 20 years.
Mary? Mary, I'm home. Kids? Pete? Janie? Tommy? Zuzu, where are you?
They're not here, George. You have no children.
Where are they, Clarence? What have you done with them?
All right, come on, put your hands up.
What is this?
Come on out here, the both of you.
Oh, Bert, oh, thank heaven you're here. Bert, what happened to this house? Where's Mary? Where are my kids?
Watch him, Bert.
I'm gonna drag you two down to the station.
No, Bert, it's that fellow over there. He's trying to hypnotize me. He says he's an angel.
Don't you make me use my nightstick.
Bert, I hate to do this, but...
Oh! Run, George! Run, George!
Ma Bailey's boarding house.
Well,
Mother?
Mother, what do you want?
No, my mother. It's George. I thought for sure you would recognize me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
No, mother, you've got to understand that something's happened to me. I don't know what it is, but I need a place to stay. Can I please stay here?
I don't take in strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I know everyone you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him.
Sure I do.
When'd you see him last?
Today, over at his house.
That's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. If you ask me, that's where you belong.
I'm here again, George.
My mother. My own mother didn't even know.
Strange, isn't it? One man's life touches so many others. And when he isn't around, he leaves a pretty big hole. Doesn't he?
Look, I've heard of things like this before. Now, you've got me under some kind of spell. Well, I'm going to get out of it. I've got to. I know I talked to Uncle Billy this afternoon. How can he be in an insane asylum? I'm gonna snap out of this. Just let me think. Bailey Park.
There is no Bailey Park if you were never there to build it.
We'll see.
This is Bailey Park. People live here. It's really grim.
This is where Bailey Park is supposed to be. What's this gravestone doing here? Why's the name Bailey on it?
Well, it wouldn't be yours.
My father's name is on here. What's this other name? Oh! Why is my brother Harry's name there?
Your brother fell through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie! My brother went to war! He got the Congressional Medal of Honor! He saved the lives of every man on that transport!
Every man on that transport died! Don't you see, George? He wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save him. You really had a wonderful life, George. And what a mistake it would be to throw it all away!
What do I do now, Clarence? What do I do?
It's your life, George.
Clarence? Where's Mary?
Mary?
My wife. Mary, what happened to her if I was never born?
I'm not supposed to tell you, George.
I don't know how you know the things that you do, but please. If you know where she is, just tell me. That's all I need to know to make a decision.
All right. But you're not going to like it.
Where is she, Clarence?
She's an old maid.
Where is she?
She's just about to close up the library. There must be some easier way to earn my wings.
Is the library closed?
It's Christmas Eve. You can't sleep in all night.
Can I ask you a question?
I really should be getting home.
What is there to be getting home to?
That is none of your business, sir. The library's closed. Maybe you should try back the 26th.
Mary, I'm sorry.
How do you know my name?
All I need is a couple of minutes.
I told you the library's closed.
Please. Just a couple of minutes. That's all I'll need. I'll do anything.
You sound desperate. I'll help if I can. What is it?
Isn't this town Bedford Falls?
It used to be. But that was some time ago. I wasn't very old when Potter was elected and he took the town along with his name for himself.
So you know a place called Bedford Falls?
I've seen pictures. It seemed like a very nice place. Things have changed, but that is with the times. I have to go.
Mary Hatch! You live on Reed Street in a white Victorian. Your bedroom is at the top of the stairs. You take a left. You have a brother named Marty, and you live with your mother, Edwina.
How do you know all this? What are you, some kind of crazy man? Stop it, I'm leaving!
No, Mary, don't you know me? Let me touch
Get your
you.
hands off of me! I'm going off!
No, Mary, the house was for. Don't you remember?
No,
Mary, it's George. Don't you know me?
No, I don't!
No, Mary, what happened to our kids?
What?
Help me, Mary, I need
Get
you.
away from me!
No, Mary, it's George. You're my wife. No. Clarence!
anything. I want to live again. Oh, Clarence, please let me live again. Oh, God, please let me live again.
George? Is that you, George?
Don't you come another step closer, Bert, or I'll hit you again.
What the Sam hit are you yelling for, George?
Oh, come on. George? George? Bert, do you know me?
Know you? I've been looking all over town for you. Where have you been?
I'm alive, Bert. I'm alive again.
You sure you're all right? Hey, your lip's bleeding, George.
It is? It is! Oh, look at the blood coming out of there! Isn't that wonderful? Oh, Susan's petals. Susan's petals. Oh, Merry Christmas, Bert!
Merry Christmas to you, too. Here, I'll drive you home.
Yeah, you'll do that and you'll turn the siren wide open.
All right.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas, Yellow Building and Loan! Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter, yippee!
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
Oh, $8,000, I bet, huh?
George, I got a little paper here.
I bet it's a warrant for my arrest! Isn't it wonderful? Oh, look at this drafty house! Isn't it wonderful? Well, where are my kids? Where's Mary?
Daddy, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Oh, kids, Pete, Janie, Tommy, I could eat you up. Where's your mother?
She went out looking for you with Uncle Billy. Daddy!
Suzu, my little ginger snap, how do you feel?
Fine, Daddy. Not a smidge of temperature.
Not a smidge, hallelujah.
George! It's Mommy! Mommy's home!
Mary!
George!
Oh, you're real. Oh, let me touch
Where
you.
have you been? No, George.
You have no idea what's happening.
You have no idea what's happening either. Come on, George, quick, they're on their way.
Who? Who's on their way? The FBI? The National Guard? The police department? Oh, Mary, I'm alive again! Mary, I'm alive again.
Now come over here and stand by the tree and don't move. Don't move. What's going on, George? Oh, there he is now. George, this is terrible. This is terrible. Come on in, Uncle Billy, everyone, in here.
Isn't it wonderful? Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told a few people you were in trouble and they scattered all over town collecting money. They didn't ask any questions. They just said, if George is in trouble, you can count on me. You never saw anything like it.
Oh, what is this, George? Another Camembert. Here you go. Merry Christmas.
The line forms to the right. Merry Christmas. Mr. Gower, Mr. Martini. Step right up now.
I busted the jukebox too.
Mr. Gower.
I make the rounds on my charge accounts.
5 or 6.
I changed my mind, George. I'm not going to go.
I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George. Here you go. $242.
I've been saving this money for a divorce, if I ever get a husband. Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Christmas.
Just a minute. Quiet, everybody. Quiet, quiet. A telegram from London.
Oh, London!
Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
Like the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Merry Christmas, George!
Harry!
Mary, I got him here as quickly as I could. The fool flew all the way here in a blizzard.
Oh, but Harry, how about your banquet in Washington?
And that's right in the middle of it, as soon as I got Mary's telegram.
Well, how about some wine?
Great idea. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town. Cheers.
Cheers.
George. Remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
What's that?
That's a Christmas gift from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy. Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
This has been WBFR Playhouse of the Air's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life. The WBFR Playhouse is brought to you this and every week by Bremel Hair Tonic and Duck's Toilet Cake. Please stay tuned for a program of popular holiday music. This is Freddie Fillmore signing off for WBFR in New York City and wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. Good night.